Haven't done one of these in a while, but I am excited because we are back and we're doing yet another YouTube ad breakdown. And this one's special because we are going to be showcasing an ad that is not doing that so good, and then following that up with a couple of examples of ads that are killing it with the same exact influencer in the same exact niche. So strap in. And before we get going, I do have a huge favor to ask of you guys. It turns out a majority, I'm talking over 80% of you, are not actually subscribed to the channel. If you wouldn't mind, it does help us out a ton if you would subscribe to the channel down below. And with that, let's jump into the video. So with this particular ad breakdown, I do want to give you a little bit of a background. So this ad example actually comes from one of the students in our YouTube coaching program. If you want more details about that, definitely check the description down below. So this student was actually struggling with this ad creative. He is promoting a real estate conference where a influencer, Grant Cardone, I'm pretty sure most of you guys know who that is coming and doing a conference inside Toronto. So he's struggling with some of the ad creative there. I'll play this version of his ad and then we can start breaking down exactly how we can make this ad a little bit better.
Hey, are you looking to 10x your real estate investing with apartments in 2023? My name's Grant Cardone. I have over $4 billion worth of assets under management, 25,000 apartments. I'm going to share with you while I'm in town in Toronto on how to get to the next level with multifamily at the multifamily conference. This is May 26th to May 28th, downtown Toronto. I'm coming all the way from Miami to be with you guys, and I cannot wait to meet you. People will be coming from all over the world, US and Canada. This is for multifamily investors, new and experienced if you're a beginner.
All right, so that's a little bit of a preview into the ad. So it looks like your standard talking head video. There's a couple things right off the bat that I want you guys to notice. First of all, the ad is square, and that's because our student was running this ad on Facebook and it was actually doing really, really well, and he wanted to bring that over to YouTube. And you guys have heard me say this in a lot of videos. The ads that work on Facebook don't necessarily translate to YouTube, and this is an example of that. So the first thing I would change in this ad, unfortunately, is just the way that it's laid out. I would make it portrait and remove these two bars on the side. The next thing that I want you guys to notice is that this ad is pretty bare bones. It's just a talking head ad. There is no editing going on whatsoever, and unfortunately, the landscape in 2023 is that your ads need to be edited. Unless you are in a blue ocean, the competitive nature of YouTube nowadays is that yes, your ads do need a little bit of editing, especially if the ad is not doing well, you're not getting the click-through rate that you want. Probably it has a lot to do with your editing as well as your messaging, as we know. In addition to editing, there's no audio design either, and this is one of the things that I see a lot of ads missing these days. There is no background music, there's no sound design, there's no audio elements that sort of emphasize the message that Grant here in this video is talking about. And speaking of Grant, if you are a fan of Grant or you know him from other ads or his businesses, you know that he's a very animated character. And this is one of the issues with this ad in particular, especially with an audience that is so familiar with the person on camera. You come to expect a certain level of energy and charisma inside of the ads. And unfortunately, Grant is just not bringing that in this ad. He's pretty laid back. He's just sitting low energy on his desk and telling you about this conference. It's kind of a big drawback in this particular case. Now, for those of you though that don't actually know Grant, there is another issue with this ad that I see happening. So Grant has this whole 10x thing that he likes to refer to, and if you know him, you know what 10x is about. However, for the people that don't, it puts a big question mark. So within the first 5 seconds, I want you to take a listen to what he says.
Hey, are you looking to 10x your real estate investing with apartments in 2020?
So this is a terminology that's very specific to Grant and his audience, and if you are making a cold ad like this one here, it's not really a good idea to get this sort of niche terminology out to a brand new audience that knows nothing about you and what you do. So I could see that, especially within the first 5 seconds, using this sort of hook may not translate to a completely cold audience. Now, switching back to the overall messaging and what the ad is trying to sell, it's trying to sell a multifamily conference, and conferences are usually a big high production deal. And the fact that this ad is not high production, I think goes against what you are trying to sell in the video. People expect conferences to be professional. So in this video, in this sort of video, I would have liked to see a more polished approach using, high quality cameras and high quality audio, especially from a person like Grant, who is known for bringing out high quality ads. You can even see within this ad, there's like a shake that happens because the camera moves on his desk. And the second thing I want to point out is that the audio in this ad is actually filmed really poorly. I think it's filmed on a phone, so the audio itself is pretty lackluster. And we know that in a wide B2C market like this, things like audio and video quality does matter a little bit, especially if you are promoting something as fancy as a conference. Now, I do want to give this video a little bit of credit here because this, in my opinion, would be a fantastic remarketing ad. And you will see what I'm talking about after seeing some of the other ad examples. So the next example that I want to show you is for one of Grant Cardone's personal conferences that he runs, and you'll see the difference in quality and the feel and the emotions behind these videos, and you will start to recognize, okay, this is why this particular ad really moves the needle, and this one that we're looking at right now really doesn't hit people the same way that it should. Hey, really quickly, if you are somebody that's looking to get into YouTube ads, whether you want to do it yourself or you want it completely done for you, what I recommend is that you go down to the description of this video and click on the top link. What that will allow you to do is book a free strategy session with somebody on our team where we will sit down with you completely for free and see if YouTube ads make sense for your business. And with that, let's jump back into the video. So this is the ad for Grant Cardone's 10X conference for 2023.
For the last 6 years, I've been running what is today's largest business conference on planet Earth. It's turned to an international movement called the 10X Growth Conference. Although the 10X Growth Conference is sold out again this year.
Okay, I just want to pause it here because there's already a lot of things that are happening that are much different than the first ad, even though they are both talking head ads. As you can see, it's just Grant sitting there with a microphone. The way that the video is edited, there's a complete different feel to both those ads. This one seems a lot more energetic, a lot more enthusiastic. There's a punch behind this video ad, and it all starts off with the visual cues. So even though this is just a talking head video, whoever made this ad did a great job at showcasing visually what the conference is going to be like. As you can see, the opening scenes are, fireworks and a lot of like commotion happening on stage with your stage going up, all the people in the crowd going crazy, lots of visual effects, lots of editing to get that hype behind that video. And this is something that I can see really having an impact on people making a purchase decision, whether they want to go to a conference that is super exciting, gets them going, versus another conference that they may not be sold on. The other thing that I want to highlight in the opening sequence is the audio design. We have a background track that is uplifting, motivating, and really evokes emotion, as well as if you can notice a background track of people cheering. Like, these are the little details that really take average ads into really high quality ads.
Today's largest business conference on planet Earth.
You can hear people cheering, and this is a really, really cheap and easy way for you to get social proof on your video ads. And speaking of social proof, this ad also does a great job with the B-roll, not only showing you what the conference is like, but also validating the conference itself by showing you a picture of the crowd. So it really drives the point home that other people are really interested. This is a sought after conference, and this video does a great job at illustrating that.
Growth Conference. Although the 10X Growth Conference is...
And again, I really do want to emphasize there's nothing super special about this video ad. It's just a Grant talking head video. It's just that the editors have gone above and beyond and used those visual elements to really convey a strong message. Now, you might be saying, okay, maybe I don't have footage from last year's conference. I don't have all of these flashy fireworks and performers and the stage going up and down and all of these fancy things. I want to show you an ad that is essentially just a talking head ad in a bunch of stock footage, as well as some pre-recorded video that Grant and his team used to promote another conference.
Hey, are you ready to 10x your income? My name's Grant Cardone, and for the last 30 years, I've been working with companies around the world to do that one thing: increase your income.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Grant Cardone.
First year, increased my income by $30,000.
Do you want to add a second flow to your primary flow?
We were doing about 100,000 a year in sales on the business. Since then, we got to $1 million a year in sales, and we actually did 10 million in sales last year.
None of this would have been possible without the help and the support that
Okay, I'm going to pause this video right here and start breaking down some of the elements here. As you can see, this video, again, is also not fancy. This is just Grant in his office with just a standalone camera. I think it's probably handheld, and it's the editing that makes all of the difference. Well, first off, Grant is obviously a lot more energetic and enthusiastic in this video than the previous example here, and I do think that makes a bigger impact. However, some of the things that I want you guys to notice right off the bat is the video editing right here. You can see that it comes in with heavy guitars, lots of uplifting music, a lot of epic music to really drive home the emphasis of the first point, which is Grant opens the video with a hook of what is your income goal if you want to 10x your income, which is a very powerful message, which is also echoed by the editing as well as the sound design. So this hook works phenomenally, as you guys can see here again.
Hey, are you ready to 10x your income?
And the editing happens once he's actually said the statement, do you want to 10x your income, which is a very, very unique way of really emphasizing that point. As you can see, within the first 5 seconds, you also have this little graphical thing that further illustrates his 10x point. In the first video, I kind of made it a point that some of the people that maybe don't know Grant Cardone wouldn't know this whole 10x terminology. Well, then in this ad, he uses the exact same thing. However, the difference is in this ad, he follows that little statement by having a visual representation of exactly what 10xing is. So you can see that this slider is gonna go and the income is going to 10x, and it kind of helps illustrate what he's talking about. You also get a visual cue of what the promise is, and you can see, you know, the numbers going up. Not only do you hear Grant Cardone saying, hey, do you want to increase your income, but you see a visual representation of that promise.
My name's Grant Cardone.
I quickly want to bring your emphasis back on some of the editing elements, including the sound design. As you guys can hear, when Grant isn't speaking, the music volume rises, and the reason that they do this is because it probably evokes a lot more emotions. People feel the music a lot more and when he's not speaking, and it doesn't seem like the video is long. They're using these snappy cuts and this music transition to really keep that engagement high.
My name's Grant Cardone, and for the last 30 years, I've been working with companies around the world to do that one thing: increase your income.
Even though that this is a talking head video, the editor used stock footage right here to build some of that social proof. Obviously, you see Grant Cardone in front of his conference, in front of a bunch of people. This kind of conveys that he knows what he's talking about. There's more videos here where he's coming off of a jet. Again, this is to do with social proof and kind of proving that this guy is trustworthy. He knows what he's talking about. The editors don't just leave this social proof and proving your promise here. They also get testimonials. Obviously, you get one here.
Increased my income by $30,000.
Where this guy is saying he increased his income by $30,000. But then you also see it with this live testimonial reel here, where you see these two people claiming that you know, they were able to grow their income because of what Grant said. Again, all of this is done to re-emphasize the main promise. The final thing that I want to leave you guys with is the pacing on both these videos. Both these videos that Grant's team actually put out are very high paced. There's a lot of different graphical elements. You know, they're following the 10-second or the 5-second rule. If you don't know what that is, definitely watch this video right here. These guys are following that rule to a T, keeping that engagement high, and that is probably one of the biggest reasons why these two ads did a lot better than that static ad. Now, if you are somebody that's struggling with your ads and you don't know how to convert boring ads into ones that are going to be high performers on YouTube, what I recommend is that you click the top link in the description down below and talk to us about our studio service, where we take boring ads just like this and turn them into high converting beasts on YouTube. With that, I'll see you guys in the next video.